All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's House Edge Live with John from Casino Gaming Central. Dr. S is here. Oh, you're on a cruise. Good. Hope you're enjoying that. Let us know how the craps is on the cruise, on your cruise. Star of the Seas. Is Star of the Seas one of the new big ones? I think it is. It's one of the Icon class ships. So that should be a lot of fun. That should be amazing. And good morning to California Craps Club as well. All right, let's get to it here. Boy, it's I give a little weather report over here. I always talk about my hometown, but man, it is windy. We have this weird, like, whatever they call that thing, where it's like this warm front coming through. We have flooding everywhere in Washington, and it's windy and like 55 degrees. It's weird. What a weird day, or weird like week this has been for us. And we're gonna get snow next week. It's gonna go back to normal again. This one atmospheric river thing going through. It's crazy town. Anyway, Skill What Craps is here too. Good morning. And by the way, Skill, just to kind of clap back at you for something I did reach out to 4D Craps. I'm gonna go ahead and play around with his GTO crap system a little bit. Then I'm gonna run it for a couple days, and then I'm gonna have him on talk about it. So he's a interesting guy. If you haven't been to his website, his channel, go to 4D Craps. It's pretty cool. What I like about him is again, the video style aside, right? It's the way he plays. It's his GTO system, and that's kind of it. It's like me with the Horseman. Like I would literally sit here and play the Horseman with you all day long, every day. But it gets to me, you need to see something different as we're doing it. But his system is his system. It's what he does, right? So, and he believes in it. He's a ride or die guy. So, yeah, let's go meet him in a week or so and see what that's all about. All right, let's get to it here. So, number one thing, why do I do the shows, right? People ask all the time, John, why do you get up at 7:00 in the morning and do a show for, what do we have here today? 9 people, right? It's because I'm passionate about a couple of things. One is this, right? Not forgetting what we're here for, right? All these, gambling is fun. Let me just preface this slide with this. Gambling is fun. I love to gamble. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a good source of entertainment for me. Maybe I win a little bit, whatever, right? I'm not trying to make a living at it. I'm also not trying to climb out of a hole I've dug in my life from it. Okay. The casino doesn't care. They're there for 2 reasons, right? They're there to make money, right? Every business is there to make money. And I don't begrudge a business for wanting to make money, but the casino really exists in 2 worlds, right? They will either ban you for being too good at blackjack or sports betting or whatever, or they're going to bankrupt you. That's it. They don't care. If you're too good, you ain't playing. You're not worthy of being a customer if you're too good. And frankly, they'll bleed you until you're completely dry of money. They don't care they have zero investment in that, right? It's just a different vibe with the casino than other businesses. And so when I do my shows, put these channels together, and again, I've got to be, non-hypocritical about it. I do work with casinos, right? I'm a host, right? So I bring people with me on cruises. I'm building an app where casinos will be allowed to advertise, put promotions out there, and maybe I'm part of the problem. I probably am part of the problem. However, what I teach, what the app I'm writing represents, is all about helping you surpass some of this, right? To not get bankrupted specifically is my goal, is to help you not get bankrupted. That's why I teach the bridge stuff every day. Bankroll, this week is all about trying to use leverage in different ways, right? Understanding how you view and feel risk, whether you're capable of identifying when it's time to put your foot on the gas or let off and get out of there, whether you have the discipline to pull that off, right? I believe, as you know, in setting goals. We talked about Jacob's goal setting of the day. His goal is not to just take money away, but to take money away from the casino and buy something with it. I love that. Turning your casino wins into something tangible is a pretty cool way of looking at life. And again, being non-emotional about the whole thing. Being non-emotional, I think, is the big thing. We don't all go on tilt, but you got to protect yourself from being on tilt. And I think that's a big part of what I try and show. And that's what I appreciate most about my friend Ken from Ken Knows Gambling. He shows that every day. Not going on tilt. Trusting your system, letting it do what it's going to do. You don't have to be an adaptive player. Like on Baccarat, it's one thing, right? To be adaptive. Player wins, go to player. Banker wins, go to player. You can adapt to what's happening, and hopefully one of those guys just goes off on a little bit of a shoot, and you're out. That's why we love that system in Baccarat. Not trying to not trying to guess, not trying to count cards unless you're playing a side bet. That stuff to me is not even adapting. It's just, fishing your way through the stream or swimming your way through the stream, trying to catch a little bit of a dip in the water, right? That's what a fish does. That's what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to predict what's going to happen. I think it's a motionless way to play, and I love that. All right, here we go. What else is happening in the world here today? I'm not sure if there's anything else really new to talk through, other than the last couple of days. Boy, I've gotten torched up here. I tried to play some blackjack on Monday or Tuesday, was it? And got blown away. We lost it was Tuesday. We lost 26 out of 29 bets in blackjack. It was horrible, right? Yesterday I tried a little bit of a right side play in craps, got destroyed on that one too. We're doing it again though. We're going to go again today. We're going to play a little bit more. I'm going to do a little more leverage play. I'm not going to do negative leverage. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a play today. One of my favorites. We're going to do the Dallas drawdown. I'm not going to ladder the loss, but I am going to hammer the wins. We're going to try and I'm going to say bet low and win high, but the bet that we're going to go out with is a pretty big bet today. You'll see how it plays out. And again, I firmly believe that if you can survive early, you can do well with leverage. If you go down early, you're going to have a really tough time. So Skill says bankroll is more than leverage. What percentage do you think it is? Bankroll has a lot to do with everything. Bankroll has to do with everything. For example, we all like Waylon, right? We like to watch his strategies. He's a fun guy, right? Negative progression stuff. We love to watch Ken. Ken's a great guy. Ken does a lot of when I lose, I go up. When I lose, I go up. A lot of laddering, right? Dr. S, a great guy. Dr. S believes in a ladder. When you go down, you go up. When you go down, you go up, right? You keep laddering up so you can survive the downturns. And when you come out of the downturn, you have money left to play with because laddering helps you recoup money. However, not everybody has money to do that with, right? So to answer Skill's question, I think it's about half or more. It's the biggest chunk of what's important is your bankroll because you simply cannot play Waylon's way or Dr. S's way or Ken's way if you don't have the money to do it. When they buy in for $5,000 or $10,000 to do some of these strategies, you can't most people cannot do that. You got to be careful with that. You go down one time, right? Ken says every strategy dies at some point, right? Well, his went 27 and then it died. What if yours goes 1 and dies and then 27 wins? Well, if that one death comes on your first try, you're out of dough and you can't play anymore. You don't get to experience the 27 wins. You follow? Bankroll's an important piece of it. And again, if you got it, you got to do the math. If I have $500 and I want to play a ladder system, I've got to play it for dollars, $1 bets at the bubble machine. You got to put yourself in the right position to use the bankroll you have. Most people are unwilling to do that. And that's, I think, the trick. If you're unwilling to put your money not only at risk, but at risk in the right place and in the right ways, you're going to get destroyed. And that's an important bit that I think people don't realize. Here's a good example. We're going to go and play today. I'll get to my table. Oh no, my table view went. My stream deck died again. We're going to go down here. We're going to play craps again today. And here's a good example of not having enough bankroll, right? Or I have it today, but what if I didn't? What if I wanted to do this? Okay. And we're going to play basically what Jeff was talking about playing the other night, right? Which is a 330 inside play. So I've got 350 4 times here. Okay. That's 3, 6, 9, 1,200, 1,300, $1,400 to take 4. I got 4 cracks at this, right? That's a lot of money for 4 cracks at it. Okay. But here's the play. Here's what we're going to do. I got some, I'm not sure if I need the white chips today or not, but we're going to go basically 330 inside and a $10 4 and 10 just to have something to do. So 330, 340, 350 is going to be the play. And we're going to do a little bit of a Dallas drawdown. And if you know my channel, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to go 330. So that's $75, $90, $90, and 75. So it's 3 units each on the 6, 8, and 9. And $10 each on the 4 and 10. That's the play. Okay. We're going to draw down the inside. We're going to treat the 4 and 10 like the ATS. We're just going to let those things go 3 times and then take them in. All right. Those are just fun. fun bets. The real play's in here. 330 inside. We're going to do it to 330 inside. We're going to take a hit. We're going to drop down. We're going to take a hit. We're going to drop down. Then we're going to play it out at some lower level. Okay, now watch. The first time this hits, it pays 100. I'll do it in blacks. $105. I'll put it up in front. 105. Then we're going to drop the 330 to 220. And what that does is that brings in $100, $200, and $15 to our rack. All right, I'll spread it out. 1, 2, and then 15. Okay, that's hit number 1. We take 2/3 of our risk away. The second hit pays, we'll do 75 for 5. 75 for 5. Normally it pays $70. Okay, we'll bring that to our rack along with another 110. We'll drop the bets down to 110 inside. If you look at our rack now, 100, 200, 300, and $50 is back with a little bit of profit. And now we're playing it out. We're going to play the hand out from this point forward. Our next time out, we can go 350 plus this, plus whatever comes back from the play. And that's the idea. We could even drop the 110 down to 64 if you want to. Okay, but we're going to play it like this. A little bit of a, what we call the Dallas drawdown system. Okay, now, if that works, fantastic. If it doesn't work, we're going to burn all this wonderful money that we have here, right? Get the things back. Talk about betting 1,400 to win 100, right? That's a pretty tough way to play. Here we go. Let's roll it out. We'll see what happens. Where's the bubble? Where's the bubble machine? The bubble machine is here. All right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Trying to find a good place to have no glare for you. All right, we're going to get a 4 as our first point. Let's get 3 inside hits. Even 2 is good, right? There's a 6. That's great. That pays 105, as you know. 105. 90 pays 105. And we'll ask our dealer to bring the insides down to 220, please. And here that comes. There's $215. There's an 11, yeah. This is a 3-hit required, right? You could do it with 2. Remember when I was doing the daily paycheck, I did it in 2 hits, right? This is a 3-hit and keep playing way to play. There's a 5, so 5 pays again 75 for 5. It pays $70. We'll drop 5 to get the $75, and again we'll come down another 110, and now we're good. There's our $350. That was our starting. Right? We have our bullet back plus enough money here to go for a bigger bullet next time. So now whatever we do on the felt just makes our bets a little better next time. That's what we're trying to do. If you want to stop here, we can do this too. We can say, you know what? We're going to bring all this back. And again, I can have this argument with you too. We'll take our 3 hits. We'll say we're done playing and let the 4 and 10 sit there as bonus bets if you want to, and let this run out. We got our 3 hits. We're done for the shooter. Right? Let's just play it like that. Let's not even try for a home run. Let's just let the game come to us, right? There's a third 6. There's the 10. That'll pay $18. We're gonna drop 2. And again, we'll treat the 4 and 10 like a bonus. If they hit, right? Got the 4. Wow. Same thing. We're going to drop 2 to get 20. Look at us go. Goes to 30, please, Mr. Dealer. We're going to treat them like repeaters. All right, there's the 7. Cool. Now we're back at it. We'll take that win we got last time. We're going to go back out, but check it out. We're going to go 330 inside again. I'll have to get this as quarters. We'll do our 330. 1, 2, 3. Here's your 330. I'll put the 4 and 10 back out. Let me get $30 here. And I'm gonna change it in a minute, but just want you to see. There's the 330. Okay. Now we have extra dough in here. We can go another 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 110 inside. We can go actually more than that if you wanted to, but let's just take it at 110. We can just go up by 110. So this time, instead of 330, we're going to start it at 440. We're going to pull the same move off. We're going to start at 440 though, which means each of those wins has a little more juice to it. 4 was the point, and I 7. That's right. You're right. I 7'd out. You're good point. We're going to start over anyway, Ron. We're going to go ahead and let it. 4 was the point. I made the point. Then I 7 on the come out. You're right. There's no point here. But we'll just take the next point and play the same strategy. Okay? Maybe we'll say that we'll do this on every new point instead of every shooter. All right, here we go. Now we got to come out 6. Okay, we're on the 6. Now, we took our win and went up on the inside of 440 as our starting point, using only wins to get her done. All right, here we go. Let's get a couple more hits in here. Ace deuce. 5. All right, the 5. $100 on the 5. We have 4 units out there, right? It pays 140. We can do 150 for 10. Okay, and again, we're going to crawl it back. We're going to come back to now 330 inside. We're going to actually regress to where we started, which is cool. We're always bringing back that extra 110 every time. And again, we're looking to, as quickly as possible, get back to the 330 size bullet, right? We have 100, 275. We have almost $300 in the rack already, right? If I take these greens as a black, let's do it. There's 1, 2, 275, 295 is in the rack. So we're doing okay, right? Again, we're always looking to replace the bullet that's back here. We can keep playing with it. 7 out. Bummer. The leverage play doesn't get us there, but that was a fun little run right there. We got to put this aside because there's not quite 330 in it. So we'll take a new 330 and run it again. And now here we are playing from upside down. And this is where it gets a little bit icky, right? Playing from upside down kind of sucks. There's the 350. Again, if you're a ladder guy, this is the time to increase the bets out of the gate. Ladder them up. Might start this whole system out here at 550 to crawl back to get the 330 in a couple of hits, but we're just going to play it straight. Every bullet has a job, right? Every bullet's job is to get leveraged up and then hammer. Let's go. Right side craps is a bitch, isn't it? It is a bitch on the right side. There's a 6 is the point. Let's use the regular puck this time. Maybe that'll bring us better luck. And it's a 5. Cool. 105. And we'll withdraw 110 from the bank here. I'll make that a black chip. I'm making them black just so that you can see the numbers in the rack better. All right, here we go. We got another 7. Boy, oh boy, the 7s on this bubble machine are flying out fast, aren't they? All right, we need to do it again. 330. Now, between those last 2 runs, I've got 330. There's 350. 300 and do I have enough? No, I don't. I'll do it like this. I'll do 325 and 325. There's your 350. Okay, from the rack. Let's get those as quarters. 1, 2. Boy, oh boy, we're getting a little bit killed over here again, right? Let's get set back up. 330. If you were laddering, I was doing the math. The ladder goes from 330 to 550, and then 550 to 880 to make this work, right? When you go down like we just did, you need a ton of money for that. All right, let's do it. So we've got 2 bullets and a partial bullet in the rack. We got a bullet out here playing. So we got to get to work here. Let's go. All right, there's a 5. That's our point. There's a 5 again. It hits the point. Again, it's 105. And we'll take down 110. I'm going to work the rack a little bit here, right? We'll take our greens as a black. We're going to bring back the $215. If I go to my rack, there's 350. So I got one of the bullets back with some reds as to spare. So we're getting close to being recovered, right? We have 220. We need 330. We're $100 light to be even. Skill is asking a question. So I remember you showing, always be looking for strats with a max of 2 hits and be out of the hand. Can you find and yes, there's a I got to find that stat. There, I want to say the top of my head here, Skill. If you're betting across, I think you have 64% chance to get 2 hits. Is what it? Oh, I'm missing a red chip over here. You have a 64% chance to get 2 hits. Otherwise, you burn. And when you're burning a third of the time, you can't win. That was the problem. You burn a third of the time. And the other stat I gave a long time ago was how hard it is to get a number to hit twice. It's astronomically hard to get a number to hit 2 times. That's why you've got to get your same bets out of the way early. That's what, like the GM spin where you press first and then come down to get out of your hand. That's a tough way to play because you got to get something to do something it wasn't meant to do. And I'll show you the math on that here in a minute. So let's catch a new point. We're going to be out on a point of 6 here. And we got an 8. That's great. It pays 75 for 5. And again, we'll reduce down 75 for 5, and we'll come down to 110. Okay. And essentially, we're out of the hand here, right? Do we have our 330 back? We have 1. We're not quite back yet. We're going to need a little more help. We have our 175. That's a green chip. That's 200. We have 210 out of our, and plus this here, 210 plus 110. Guess what? We're out of here, right? That's $320. We're effectively out of the middle, right? We're back to even again, which is a good place to be. So if we let the point roll out, we'll leave those out there. There's our 320. That'll get us on the inside. We're minus $10. We're back in the game again. Okay. We could actually go out there at 60 or 44 inside just to get the $10 that we need to play the next hand, but we're out of the hand here, right? We could play a bullet plus this next time. But we're going to do this. We're going to leave it out. Let the hand resolve itself, and then we'll start going. And look what happens, right? I make a dumb decision like that, and we got a 7. I'm just trying to get to play it through a little bit to see. All right, here we go. 330 again. I'm going to put this in the back. So again, we just watch our rack. Watch our rack. All right. There's our 350. Let's do one more run. The rack is, we haven't had the consecutives, right? We need to get 2 shooters to come through here twice. Or a shooter to come through and get it for us 2 times. We got to make the move happen twice in a row. So far, it's only happened once in a row. We can't get it to come through. Bubble machine is not my friend. And the battery's going. You guys hear the battery? You probably can't hear it. I can hear it good. There's an 11, like 2 7s and an 11. Another 7. By the way, 7, 7, 11, 7. If you're on the pass line, right? And you do the 1, 3, 2, 4, you just made $250. By the way, that's a 10-unit little win right there from $25. That's $250. Just saying, it happens all the time. The 4 in a row wins between pass lines and points happens all the time. That's a $250 winner right there. Every time I see that, I cringe because I don't do it. But my goodness, here we go. Let's get her. Another yo. Come on. Come on, Bubble. 3. Are you kidding me? 7, 7, 11, 7, 10, and then a yo and a 3. How about anything else? Come on. Come on, Bubble. 11. Oh my gosh. Get the slot tech out here to kind of change the pump on the slot on the Come on. It's a free. Where's the crapless machine? All right, there we go. My gosh, that was funny. All right, there's a $105 winner. Oh my gracious. And again, we'll bring this down by 110. And man alive, that was too much. All right, there is a black. All right, so we brought back some money off the table. There's 300. If I take this black here as quarters, there's a bullet back. We got a bullet back in the rack. All right, and we're working our way back towards getting the first bullet healthy again. Ah, my God, this roll today. Good Lord. How typical is this, though, craps players, right? How typical is this of a run? Here we go again. We got to get ahead. I mean, we've been ahead, but the first shooter all day. My gravy. All right, 350 going back out. My goodness. If it wasn't funny, or it would be an element of truth, right? That's how this has to be looked at. All right, 10, 15, 15, and 10. All right, there's our 350. Let's get a run. Damn it. Come on. The alarm went off when I shook the bubble machine. That's funny. Another come out 7. Boy, the bubble machine is in a zone right now. There's a point of 4. Here we go. Come on. Let's get 6 inside hit. 3 here and 3 again. Or 4 and 4. I don't care, right? Oh my God, another 7. Are you freaking kidding me? All right, here it is. 350. We'll just do it again. No need to change the bets because it's 350 out there, right? Wow. Come on, man. 4 is the point. There's a 10. All right, it's going to pay $18. 18. We'll do 20 for 2, and we'll let it hammer. Let's go. Let the 10 and the 4 eat today. There's a 9. Oh my gosh, we got an inside number. Can you believe it? 105. Woo, baby. We'll take 110 down. All right. Reduced by the 110. I'll make that a black chip. I'll make this a green, just so we can see where we are. We got to get that bullet back. 5. All right, 75. 4, 5. And again, we'll bring them down by 110. There's our 2 hits. Okay. There's 100. There's 100. All right, that's 350. So one of our bullets is back and safe. Thank the Lord. All right, we can come back in here and take this down, and we're going to leverage up from this point forward. We got to win on that shooter. We'll let the 7 roll itself out. On the next point, we'll come back out. We'll do it again. We'll go 330 plus what we just pulled off the table. There's an 8. How about a 10, huh? 3. And another 8. Boy, oh boy. So this is going to be a great conversation to have here while we're waiting for this point to come, right? I say this all the time. It doesn't, especially on bubble craps, does it matter if you're off until the next shooter? Does it matter if you're off till the next point? Does it matter if you just let your shit run out there over and over again? Does it really matter? Does me waiting till the next point to go back out make a difference or not? Am I holding off the 7 any further? Is the 7 any less due right now than when the puck is off and come back on again? There's no reason not to be playing if you're going to play a certain way. You're just looking for 2 roll segments. Give me 2, give me 2, give me 2, give me 2. Whether the puck is here and then back on again doesn't really matter. So, food for thought. Coming off and not playing doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, right? We're missing out on rolls here, right? Come on, machine. There's a 7. All right. Now, here we go. Let's leverage up what we just did. We're going to go, I have enough to go 440 in, right? There's 3, 400. Actually, I can go, there's 450. Can I go? I can go 550 inside. We're going to leverage it up all the way. We'll go 550 in. We'll do the same system and come on back. We'll do 550 inside. That's 50, 50, 25, 25. We still got our 410 kicker, right? We're going to take our wins. Even though we're down in our bankroll, we're going to take the win from the last shooter and leverage her up. All right, here we go. Here we go. Ooh, tall dice throw. We're going to have a little conversation about that. Remind me to that. I'm going to have a little story to tell you. There is a 5. All right, here we go. Let's get our 2 and run like hell. All right. 11, of course. And there's the freaking 7. All right, so today is going to be a lost cause, right? Again, we cannot get out of our own way. Unfortunately, we can't get 2 runs in a row of 2 hits in a row. Isn't that crazy how this works out sometimes? Last one. There's our last bullet right there, 350 across. Let's go. 350, last bullet. Maybe we get lucky. And if we do, I'm just going to pump the same shooter. I'm not going to try this whole 10, 15, 10, waiting for the next shooter. We're just going to let it roll. Let's go. $10 in rack, $1,400 out. $10 coming home. Woo! 8 is the point. Come on, dude. Let's do it. Let's go, little bubble. Make me happy. There's a 9. 105. And again, we're going to draw down. And take another 100 and something off the table. All right, there we go. Can we get back even one bullet? All right, there is a 6. That's great. That's 75. 4, 5. Again, I pay $70. I drop a nickel. 70 plus my 5 makes a nice easy payment for your dealer. And we come down, technically, right? But we're going to go back up. Okay. Come down to 110, and we have our money back in the rack. There's our 300 and change, right? We're all good. All good in the hood. We have profit on that run. But now we're going to go back out at 440. We're going to go 4 units per number. I'll do it all in greens, actually, just to be easier to see. Let's get greens. All right, 120. And I'll drop 2 nickels here. All right, now we're at 440. We're going to leverage up a little bit. I got a couple of bucks here in the rack, not enough to make the inside of clean 110. Play it again, looking for 2 more hits to come down, and then we'll bump it up again. That's the pattern. 2 hits and down, up. 2 hits and down, and up. Again, using the win from the shooter as leverage for the next one. But you know what's going to happen over here, right? This thing is going to screw me again. So 6. Hey, we got 140, right? 125, 140. That's awesome. 140 on the 6. And again, we'll now come down by 110 to 330. Just keep everything in the front of the rack here. We're going to get ready to do it all again. Same pattern. Same pattern. Let's go. That's going to be a 10. So again, 20 for 2. Looks like 30. Let the 4 and 10 just cook. We don't care about them. They're our ATS bets. Tom says Jeff takes all down after 6 rolls. That's exactly right. That's exactly. He doesn't get his 6 rolls in. If he's not out in 6 rolls, he's done. He's under the assumption or playing with the notion that if he hasn't gotten it done, the 7's on the way. I don't believe the 7's on the way. That's the only difference between him and I with this kind of play. And I know Bo Parker teaches that too. I just don't believe it. Seen too much. The 7 comes when the 7's going to come. So, all right, let's stay off of here. Come on. Man, we cannot get the second hit this whole day. We have not gotten our second run through. Do I have enough to play again or no? I don't know if I do or not. 3, 3, 3. I do have enough to play. Only the insides though. Only the insides. Actually, I got to borrow a nickel from a friend. A friend of 10. Yeah, we can't seem to get even 4 hits in a row today. Not once have we had 4 hits. Crazy time. Let's go. Come on out. Come on out, dice. I hate the bubble. There's a 10. All right, let's go. There's a 6. All right, 105. And down. Jeez, Lou. What a horrible day. 105 and down. $9. All right, 75 for 5. And we can reset. Again, we're going to go to 4 units each now. So now we'll go to 4. 2, 2, and I'll get quarters here. I need to get nickels for that. All right, now we're at 440. We'll do the same move from 440 again, you just need 2 sets of 2 in a row, right? There's a 10, which we're not on, but that's the point. We'll come out. There is the 9. All right, let's do it. Get us 2 hits, baby. Come on. Nope. Never worked. Didn't work again. Boy, talk about giving you guys a reality check. It's 3 days in a row where what I have done has not worked from out of the gate. Like literally you have $2 left in the rack. Not worked out of the gate. Unbelievable bad rolls here, right? And again, we're not changing the system. We're not laddering up. We're just going to let it happen. Give me 2 and come down, go back up. Give me 2 and come down, go back up. We never got even 4 boxes in a row on a single shooter or across 2 shooters. Not once. Actually, the very first shooter, we got 3, not 4. Unreal how incredibly mean this little thing can be and this game can be to you. Wow, that was pretty unfortunate. Crazy. All right, let's go back to the show here. All right. A couple things in chat that came up that I want to make sure we talk about. Tall Dicer says, I know it sucks, but it'll build your channel if you start converting to regular, which is what I've been doing, which is interesting. YouTube kills the lives. It hates the live shows. So what I've been doing in the mornings here on the new channel, on the Casino Gaming Central channel, is after the live show is over, I make the video unlisted. So it takes it off of YouTube completely. Then I come down here and I edit the video and I take out, the fluff in the beginning and the kiss goodbye at the end and put out the meat as an actual video and let those things cook. So the live piece here that we're doing, the what you get to watch when you're with me, stays as hidden, trying to get YouTube to not destroy the channel with the live stuff. So that's what I'm doing is I'm spending about an hour a day after this, chopping out the stupid shit, leaving just the meat if there's good meat in there, right? So there it is. Today's a good example of that, right? Like we had this great idea. Let's just go get a couple hits and stop playing, right? What happens? A couple things to take away, I think, right? One, why am I on ready, set, let's go? That's a weird screen to be on. It should be down here on table time. There we go. Make sure I frame this correctly, because what we saw today was a couple of things, and I want you to rewind your brain. And for some of you, you weren't here with me when this happened, right? When we did the daily paycheck and I won from $10,000 to $100,000, not unlike what Ken's doing on his show with his envelopes right now, right? How did I do that? Right? It was extreme discipline on that. And that show was designed, A, to be live every single day, which I was. There's no bullshit on that show, right? And B, it had a goal in mind to win X per day. Some days I would set up the insides, right? I would do whatever it was, 880 inside, one hit, and stop. Like we saw today. Most of the shooters today, by the way, did get that first set to work. We got our 2 most of the time. I think we had 3 PSOs, but we had 4 or 5 where I got the 2 hits that I needed right away. The difference is on that show, when I made the money, I stopped playing. Sometimes that show is 9 minutes long because I made the roll in 2 seconds and I was done, right? Here today, I kept trying to go after it I'm trying to prove a point about leverage, but it showcases a couple things, right? When you're trying to keep, time will destroy you, right? If I would have just kept the win, the 110 plus the 75, right? Every single time we did it, we would have had 6 or 7 times where we won $215 or whatever that number was, right? 110 and 75, whatever it was, right? We would have won that many times versus lost a 350 a couple of times on the PSOs, right? So take that away from today's rolls. If you would have taken your 2 hits and stopped playing, you would have been okay most of the time. If you stay in, guess what? You're giving it up. You're giving it up. And I think it's a really good example today. If I got to take a good from a bad, that's what I would say to you today. Hope that all makes sense. All right. All right. Tom says, did the rolls match my strategy? My strategy match the rolls. It is what it doesn't really ultimately matter. Like we say this all the time. Whatever you put up at risk is always going to be at risk no matter when it is, right? If you're going to just do a $150 6 versus 160 across, the risk is the same, right? You're going to lose that 150 on the six times. You're going to win it 5 times, but you're going to lose it 6 times. You go 160 across, you're going to win $35 or whatever 24 times, but you're going to lose 166 times. That's the way math works. There's no escaping that, right? Unless you're lucky and you win 36 times before you lose the 6 times, and you can get some extra juice out of it. It's all timing, right? You play a timing game. If you can catch your wins before the 7s come, you're going to be in good shape. If the 7s come early, like they did today, bad shape, right? If I go back and play this again, we may see 10 shooters in a row where I get 5 rolls and be just fine. It's about what window of time you happen to land yourself into. It's all the same, Tom. Again, losing 160 6 times and winning $35 24 times is the same as winning 150 on one number 5 times and losing 156. It all works out to be the same. And that's the thing that I think we all have to realize. That's why strategies, quote unquote, don't really matter that much, because it's all the same in the end. In the end, it all works out. The math levels out. House edge aside, you're going to have different levels of loss based on house edge on some of these bets, but ultimately it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't really matter what you do. So, all right. Can I show these stats ASAP? Well, we can try to do a little bit of it. I don't have the stats with me, right? But what we can do is how can I even show you this quickly enough to make it make sense? Let me think of a way that I can give it to you. Boy, oh boy. Let me. I wish I had the numbers with me. Let me look on my spreadsheet real quick. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Skill. Sorry, everybody, while I go searching Google here. Somewhere I've got a spreadsheet that sort of shows that. Let's see. Let's go here. Give me a second to. You don't want to watch me search, do you? I'll just talk to you while I'm doing it. Go to my Google Drive. What the hell? All right, Google Drive, and I've got my drive. Let's see here. Pro Craps. I've got the pressing stats for the 6 and the 8. Million roll data, strategy pressing with golden rolls. I got a little bit. Where is this? Pressing comparison. This might be the first video I ever did. If I can find it. Roll frequencies. What's this one? This is the spreadsheet that I did. Okay, here we go. Let me share this with you. Let's go. How do I do present on here? We don't want that. It's too big. Can I just do presenter view? Presenter view. There we go. Okay. Let me, let's go here. Browser view. And can you see this okay? Not that screen. Let me zoom this in a little bit for you. Oh my goodness gracious. Sorry. Let's do that. Okay. If I do this and I got to make this window a little smaller. Give me a second here, and we'll go over that over skill. I know it's an important thing to do. All right, let's go. Browser. Gotta do this. There we go. That's what we need to see. All right, here we go. This is a PowerPoint that I did a long time ago. Sorry about that. I have a lot of really cool stuff that I had made a long time ago in the past. But I don't know where it all is. So anyway, here's what I did. I did this video. This is like 5 years ago. This was like pressing statistics, right? So I tracked 1,600 points, right? And looked at the number of rolls after the point. And what you see is this, and this tracks with what Dice Data would say, right? You get about 4 rolls or so after the point on average. That's about what we see. On average, you get about 2.7 box numbers after the point. This is when I did this research, right? And these are things that we all intrinsically know to be true, right? About 2 to 3 hits per shooter is about average what you see. That's what the math says from Michael Shackelford and others. I ran the rolls. I tracked 10,000 shooters, and this is what I saw, right? About 2.7 box numbers per shooter or per point. Why is that important? Dallas Drawdown, what I just showed you, 330 to 220 and stop. That's the average box numbers per point. That's why 2 is the golden number. This is the reason why 2 is the golden number to be out of a hand. When you get to that 2, you're lucky to get another roll, right? The 0.74 is what you're looking at. When you get your 2 hits, you have less than a one out of 1 chance of getting a third hit. That's the reality of life, just what it is, right? Now, I will tell you this. It doesn't matter if you wait it out until the next shooter and let them get a point and then try for your 2 on that. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, you're fighting the 7 the same number of times. But this is very interesting to me. Okay, now, if we take it forward, here's the frequencies, right? You get 0 rolls, PSO'd, 28% of the time. You get 1 hit about 20% of the time. You get 2 hits about 14% of the time, right? That's the recurring average that you're looking at, right? So 63% of the time, you're going to get your 2 hits. This is like a descending percentage, right? About half the time, 48%, you get 1 hit. Isn't that interesting? So these 1 hit can't lose strategies will lose. All right. So the 4 and 10, looking at them side by side, but together, right? Most of the time, 63% of the time, we get 0 4s or 0 10s. About 23% of the time ish, you get 1 4 or 1 10. Less than a quarter of the time, you get 1. Okay. To get 2 4s or 2 10s, it's about 8%. 8%. 8 out of, or that's 8 out of 100 times. You get 2 4s or 10s, right? 3 or 4. To get 4, the flip is about a 1% chance. It happens, but it's about a 1% chance. So this is the tough, right? When you press the 4 or 10, to get the second one is really freaking hard. It's really hard to catch 2, 8%. Now, the 5 and 9 had the same problem, right? Half the time you get 0, 25% of the time you get 1, 10% of the time you get 2. It's really hard, right? This is why GM spin to me is a tough strategy to go out of the gate with, because you got to press the 5 or 9 or whatever, and then get the second one to get out. Well, 10% of the time you're getting out when you're pressed to get out versus the collect and regress down. I like the regression better because of that, right? The 6 and 8, same kind of deal, right? You get about half, you get nothing. About 25%, you get 1. About 12%, you get the second one. It's super, super hard to get these things to work, right? 80% of the shooters, 4 rolls or less. 28% are a 0.7 out. 2.7% of your, this is kind of hard to see, 2.7% box numbers. 80 to 90% of numbers repeat twice or less. That's devastating numbers for a right side player. It's devastating. And I think the importance of this is this. And I think, so Skill, thanks for making me go search for that, right? But the importance of knowing those numbers to me is when you create a way to play for yourself, right? You play for the bottom. It's a race to the bottom. How can I survive the 80% of the time I'm not going to get 2 numbers to hit or a number to hit twice? How do I create a way to play where that 27% or whatever the number was, what's the number? It was a 2.7 box numbers per hit or per shooter. I got to optimize for that. If I'm going to be a right side player, I got to optimize for that. And here's the thing. If it's 2 hits, right? And you're that 0.7 is that third hit. Think about that. When I say this, get out of the hand in 2 rolls. Okay. Dallas Drawdown, we just did 330 to 220, 220 and off. Okay. That puts a 110 and 70 in your pocket. 110 on the first hit or 105 in the first hit, 70 in the second hit, it's set 175 in profit in those 2 hits. Most of the time today, we never got the third hit. That 0.7, we failed on almost every one of those. So instead of keeping 170, we lost 330 on almost every one of those attempts today. That's why you optimize for the short, ugly, skinny runs. And if you want to keep on playing that 0.7% chance that the roll keeps going, that's what the right sider is taking is putting his whole bankroll at risk for that. The skill 66 to 88 to 44. That's the 2 hits. And the 44 inside is hoping that that 0.7 of the 2.7 average per shooter turns into more than 0.7, right? If you just did 66 to 88 and stopped, $50 in profit. Repeat, 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 repeat. That's a better way to go after it, knowing this. Now, when you do exceed the average, when you're over 2.7 rolls on a given shooter, that's those magical runs. And if you've got profit to play with, Ken would call it excess or fun money that you want to throw back out there and say, okay, cool. I'm way up in profit in my rack. So I've done $50 every shooter. I got an extra $100 sitting here on roll 4 or 5. You want to go back out there? Cool. Push your 97 across or 96 across and go have fun. It's timing and it's recognition when that happens. Unfortunately, me and most people out there don't do that, right? When you're out there with a group of people, you're just going to let it run, let it run, let it run, let it run. And this guy here will screw you. Whether it's this thing here or a person that thinks they can throw the dice, you're going to get screwed by staying too long. And that's just the lesson that we saw today. We see it every day in the casinos, and you have to live in that reality, unfortunately. All right. Okay, I got to run out of here. I'm late for my 8:15 meeting, as you know. But I will leave you with our inspirational quote of the day, which is this. And again, today, another example of it. You got to feel the pain. Got to feel the pain. Otherwise, the distractions will stop working. If you're shielding it up, right? And again, if you're not showing the losses like I do live every day, if I shield myself from that, at some point, the distraction of the lights and whistles and the cool displays and sound effects of your videos, like we see a lot, they stop working. People tune you out. You got to be real, right? Experiencing pain in everything, in your relationships, in your marriages, in your jobs, in your gambling is reality. You got to experience reality, feel the pain, eat the emotions. Otherwise, you will wear yourself out. I promise you that. All right. Love you all. God bless. Have a great Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow for Friday Follows, where we will do some kind of a burn it all down strategy again. Love you all. God bless. Bye-bye.